We all know the musical Oklahoma has become a movie classic, but as a state, Oklahoma has lagged behind neighboring locales in attracting film companies to shoot here. New Mexico, for example, has landed 25 film and television productions over the past 4 years with an estimated economic impact of $162 million. Compare that to our state, where in our best year, we've only been able to land just about $12 million worth of films. But that may soon change, and here's why. This past legislative session, lawmakers approved 3 bills that give movie makers incentives like tax breaks to film here, which in the business of making movies is often the deciding factor of where a movie is made. As Julie Porter shows us, with these incentives now in place, Oklahoma is ready for lights, camera, and plenty of action.
Here's the equation. Film and music incentives mean more film and music production. Film and music production means economic development. It's a win-win situation for Oklahoma. Tulsa native Tim Blake Nelson, a well-respected actor, writer, and director, who has appeared in such films as Oh Brother, Where Art Thou and Minority Report, has a project he would love to shoot in Oklahoma.
Well, with Louisiana and Texas and New Mexico quite aggressively pursuing films for their states, if Oklahoma doesn't pursue film production, then movies simply won't come to Oklahoma, because these other states will be able to essentially seduce them away. And a movie such as mine, Seasons of Dust, that I've written as a native Tulsan about my home state, would have to shoot in Texas. And of course we don't want that.
Bob Burney, who is credited with the tremendous success of distributing such films as My Big Fat Greek Wedding and The Passion of the Christ, adds that more film production in Oklahoma can eventually lead to more tourism.
Production or a film based in a certain location, especially if it takes off, it can be sort of become an icon or something in the state or location can attract people.
Oklahoma native Gray Fredrickson won an Oscar for producing The Godfather Part 2.
So every state wants it, and it's very important for Oklahoma to stay in the running with all of the other states. Why not come to Oklahoma instead of going to Louisiana? It's just as easy to get to Oklahoma as it is to Louisiana, and we have just as many nice. We even got swamps in Oklahoma if they need a swamp, and if they can come here and get rebates and incentives, gosh, why not? You know, and it's up to us to come up with enough incentives to make people want to come here. Because once they're here, they'll fall in love with Oklahoma. It's a great place.
When cast and crew come to an area, a lot of money is pumped into the local and state economies.
First and foremost, when a movie company comes to town, the movie company hires people.
You're a moving army, so you come in, you bring in your relatives, you bring in your wives, you bring in your children. You know, at night you go out, you go to restaurants, you go to movies, you go to clubs.
When you have a film crew of 100, 150 people for 3 or 4 weeks, all getting a couple of $100 a day in spending money, you can do the math. It adds up.
Sam, time to go home.
A couple of local companies were fortunate enough to take advantage of our 15% film rebate program when it was first passed in 2001. One was Rick Walker, who directed Sam and Janet, which was recently shown on Lifetime Network.
It really helped. When you're actually, I'm sure it would help in a big budget movie also, but on ours, every little penny helped, and getting that 15% back meant a lot to me and to the crew guys and to the catering people and stuff. It just allowed us to do a few more things. We took that money, of course, and put it right back in, so it ended up going back into the system anyway.
With a big movie like Rain Man or Twister, which was shot almost entirely in Oklahoma, the money spent here is impressive. Over a period of 100 days, Warner Brothers spent $11.3 million. That's money that was left in the state.
Are we having fun yet?
On smaller independent films, the numbers are still impressive. Return to Cinder shot 2 weeks in Denmark and 4 weeks in Oklahoma. The producers are Hillia Sten Knudsen and Jill Noonan. Jill has one story of significance about the economic impact of their film.
When we shot Return to Cinder, we used 1,500 hotel nights in a particular hotel in Tulsa. And when we were leaving, the manager pulled me aside and he said, you know, I just wanted to let you know that it's not a big thing, but there were 2 housekeepers that we would have had to lay off during the 6 weeks that you were here in our hotel that were able to keep their job, and they were both the sole breadwinners for their family.
A beautiful morning. Poseidon has blessed our voyage.
Orlando Bloom of Troy and the Lord of the Rings fame recently finished Oklahoma production of a Paramount Pictures film written and directed by Cameron Crowe.
I had a wonderful time in Oklahoma. I just shot Elizabethtown down there, and it was fantastic to be in the heartland of America, it felt like, you know.
Studio and production heads all agree. When Oklahoma delivers the incentives, they'll deliver the projects, bringing new jobs to the state, improving our image, and creating and sustaining a new industry. Film and music incentives and film and music production. They're a win-win for Oklahoma.